He was a very powerful leader. He was a very powerful leader, and he could get everyone to follow him. He could speak powerfully and convince people to follow him. But what kind of work did he do? Did he have good goals? No. They were terrible. Murder of millions of Jews. So many people had been killed, black people. Why? Because he thought that he was better than them. And so we call it, this topic, the servant leader. The servant leader. And what a servant leader looks like and what this means. So this morning, Mark chapter 10, verse 35 through 45, and John 13, verses 13 through 16. I'm going to show you a video, but first I want to explain and expand on this topic about a servant leader. A servant leader means someone who is willing to work. At the same time, he tries to get others to follow him. Follow his example and do as he does. So, who do you think is the best example in the Bible of a servant leader? Who do you think? Jesus. Right, Jesus. So, and 3 or 4 people that we will talk about, but we're going to start with Jesus today. And then we'll talk about Paul, Peter, and other servant leaders. So those who are willing to do the work at the same time teach others. And we can copy their example of what a servant leader is like. So let's pray. Lord, we thank you for your word. We thank you for the example of Jesus Christ. Jesus showed exactly what we should do. We can learn from Jesus. Help us to read and understand Jesus' example and to apply it to our life to be better servants of you. In Jesus' name. Amen. So, let's look at this verse. Our first point is the teaching of Jesus. What Jesus taught. And this is drawn from Mark chapter 10. Maybe not. Hit that button, please. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him, saying, Master, sit on his right hand and his left hand. And Jesus asked if they could suffer the same persecution that he would. The other disciples heard about their request, and they were angry. And Jesus said, don't be like the earthly leaders. First, be humble. Remember, they have their reward. Understand, I came here not to have you serve me. I came here to serve others. So, you know who that is. He's been involved in the deaf ministry for many years. And he helped to develop what's called the ASL Bible. If you don't know about the ASL Bible, I encourage you to come to me. I can show you about it. You can use it on your phone or your tablet or whatever. And so he was telling the story of Jesus. Did you get that story? I'll expand on it a little bit as we go on, but if you can read this for yourself, it's in Mark chapter 10, 35 to 45, where Jesus was there, and James and John, two brothers, the sons of Zebedee. They were fishermen. Remember, they had been fishermen with Peter and his brother Andrew. So the four of them were partners, and they helped each other. But James and John came to Jesus and said, Jesus, please give us something. And Jesus said, well, what? And they said, when you go to heaven, we want to sit on your right hand and your left hand side, and you sit on the throne. And Jesus said, well, I understand what you're asking me, but that's not my decision. I don't make that decision, but understand, can you suffer as I suffer? Can you take of the same cup that I will? And they said, oh, yes. Yes, we can. And Jesus said, you will suffer just as I will suffer. But you see it on my right hand and my left hand is not mine to give. And the other disciples found out what was going on, and they were angry that these two had enough nerve to ask Jesus this. And Jesus said, now calm down, pay attention, look at me, okay? Pay attention to me. You know that out in the world, leaders oppress their followers. We should not be like that. If you want to become great, if that's what you want, you should begin as a servant. You should be humble. And Jesus said, no, I did not come to earth to have others serve me. I came to serve others. And to die to give them salvation. So Jesus taught about his disciples. First, the servant leader is easy to talk to. He's approachable. James and John came to Jesus and they said, "Hey Jesus, we would like something. We want this." And Jesus could easily have laughed at them and said, "What?" and rebuked them. No, that's stupid. How dumb. You have no idea how ignorant that is. You don't understand. You don't know that I'm going to die and be crucified. You don't understand that. But did Jesus do that? No. They came to him, and Jesus, it's funny to me, but Jesus already knew what they wanted. He knew what they were going to ask for. But he stood there and listened. Why? To teach them. He could have rebuked them. And they would have been depressed. So, it's the same in church today, right? We have the same thing? Yes, we do. People come to you and you say, "What? That's stupid." Is that going to be your response? Or are you going to listen and try to help them understand better? That's funny. Jesus could easily have rebuked them. You're asking me to sit on my right side or my left side? That's full of egotism. You really have the nerve to do that? But Jesus didn't do it. He said, "You understand that in this future I'm going to have to suffer." And they said, "Oh yes, we can suffer with you." They were still full of egotism. And Jesus said, "Well, it's not my right to decide that, but understand, if you continue to serve, be patient." And Jesus taught them. He didn't try to rebuke them. If you want to be a better servant of God, become more approachable, easy to talk to. If people see that you get upset easily and offended easily, then they won't come to you. If they come to you, you say, "Why are you wasting my time?" I encourage you to take the time, be patient, and teach them. Encourage them. And be gentle with them. Jesus did. Jesus took the time when they came to him to explain. He didn't say, "Don't waste my time." But Jesus was very gentle and encouraging and taught them the right way. And that's what we should do. We shouldn't try to deflate others' egos. Instead, and make them afraid to talk to us, afraid of our response. Instead, we should be easy to talk to. You know, I'm going to make mistakes. If something happens, you know, I can be immature. I'm 30 years old, right? I'm still young. And I make lots of mistakes. I'm sure that I will in the future. I will make more, but you don't want to be difficult to talk to. I encourage you to be easy to communicate with. That's important. better servant, to learn, to be easy to talk to. Try to maintain friendships. Don't cause problems. Your goal should be to make things work smoothly, right? Right? So, you know who this is?
Oh, dang.
And so there's going to be a big fight, a big boxing match between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. So those two guys are some of the best boxers maybe in history. Anyway, first time they met each other, this fight is going to be the first fight between them. I think they're getting 30 million each or something. Anyway, it's unbelievable, but conflict. Understand conflict. What does this mean? Conflict, confrontation, problems, disagreements will happen. And the servant leader understands that. Okay, conflicts, disagreements will happen. I promise you 100% guaranteed it will happen. You know why? You know why we have these conflicts and disagreements? We're all people. My wife and I have been married 8 years, over 8 years. But anyway, still, we've known each other for 10 years. You would think we would understand each other perfectly with no communication problems, right? Oh, come on. Now, some of you have been married 30 or 40 years. You still have communication problems, right? Of course, we're going to have conflicts and disagreements. Of course we will. It's normal because we are different people. Your opinion and my opinion are different. So, Jesus, as these two disciples came to him, the other 10 said, what? Why? How do they have the nerve to do this? But Jesus knew that that would happen. And Jesus could have said, all right, this is my problem. Let me deal with them, okay? You stay out of it. But no, instead he brought everyone together. When a problem happens, what do? Will you try to please one group or the other? Should you try to please everybody? No. You can't please everybody all the time. Maybe after church, you go out to a restaurant. Maybe some of you really like Burger King. Or maybe some of you prefer McDonald's. Some of you say no. Wendy's is better. So which is right? Everybody disagrees. Oh, I don't want to go there. That happens, right? So how do you solve the problem? You come to an agreement. You work together. Sorry.
Yeah.
What you down, it takes patience. Oh, I hate the giant, too crazy. Oh, I can't stand it. But you go maybe have a Coke. Or, another place is funny, my father-in-law. His whole life is Coke over Pepsi. He says, Coke stands for Christ our King eternal. But if he goes to the restaurant with no Coke, he's grouchy. He wants Coke. And it's funny to me. Interesting that we all have different opinions. We're all different. So how can we all work together? It's almost impossible, right? Almost impossible. Almost. But with Christ helps us to get along. Jesus helps us to work together so we can become servants. If you want to become a servant, you need to stop causing these problems and say, no, I don't want to do that. Instead, maybe say, well, maybe this is a better way. This is just my opinion. See what you think. And negotiate. It's easy to lose your temper if you don't get your own way. And sometimes it happens, right? The servant leader, as Jesus did, should say, work together. You don't want to be the boss of everybody under you. If that's what you want, you need to start low. Start as a servant. And if people see that you are a good servant, and they're impressed with you as a servant, Jesus, and we'll see more about Jesus' example later. Third, the servant leader resolves differences, solves problems, clarifies things. Jesus made everything work together. To be the best servant, you need to help resolve things, not cause problems, but help each other resolve them. Help people solve problems. We all have one goal, and if we all had the same goal, there would be no selfishness, no my way. We would all succeed. Because if we have a problem, I encourage you to solve problems, don't cause them. Jesus, when the two disciples came to him, he tried to solve the problem. If you want status, if you want success, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is to become a servant. That's all. Just be a servant. I'm the pastor. Do I say everybody needs to look at me to listen to me, to do everything my way? No. I'm a servant, that's all. You look at the pastor and think he deserves respect. That's right. The pastor deserves respect. But I don't demand that you do things my way. I'm a servant. That's all. Just like Jesus. Jesus was a servant. And Jesus, the servant leader, is a servant. So Jesus told the story. He said in his message, I came to earth for everyone to honor me? No. To be a new revolutionary leader to overthrow the Roman government? No. To become the new king? Jesus will become the king in the future, but not in this world. Not here on earth. What do we do? What's our goal here on earth? Be a servant. Help. To encourage. Like a coach. You know, coaches are different. There are different kinds. You see different styles of coaching. Some coaches are always bawling the players out. Some coaches use a whistle and they are always yelling at the players, but our goal should be to help the team. And it's funny, I was a basketball coach for several years, and I tried different ways to get my point across, to work with my team. And I say, we need more rebounds. I didn't call them out by name and say, you're doing a bad job. I just said, we need more rebounds, that's all. They knew that they knew what they needed to work on. They knew that they needed to improve, and most of them already knew what their weaknesses were. They already knew that, my weakness is this and this. I knew my weakness. So I didn't have to review each of them individually, just in general. So now I encourage you to do the same. To help people and say, we need more of this, more of that. Don't name people, don't review people by name. I encourage you as a servant to try to draw people in, be successful. If you're always talking negative about people, it tends not to be successful. It's very rare. If the coach is always yelling at the players, many of them feel it makes it worse. You make one mistake and you're sitting on the bench, and that's not a good culture. It's not successful. You want to be successful, I encourage you to encourage each other, to be positive, to work together, and to serve. Be a servant. So I encourage you to serve. And there are many things that you can do. And I applaud you for being here at church. That's fine. Your 35th anniversary. There are so many of you who have been coming to this church and you come here every Saturday to work, I encourage that. I applaud that. That's wonderful. Keep doing it. Don't give up. Don't quit. So the teaching of Jesus. We looked at teachings, and now let's look at the example of Jesus in John chapter 13. John chapter 13, verse 13 through 16. This time, this was just before Jesus would go to the cross. He gathered the disciples to the upper room. Have a meal, the Last Supper. But before this meal, Jesus gathered them together. He got a towel, and he washed their feet. Now, why did Jesus wash the disciples' feet? Now, understand, in those times they didn't have cars. They wore sandals. So when they walked, their feet got dirty. They must have smelled. But Jesus knelt and washed the disciples' feet. And Peter said, "Don't wash my feet. Don't wash my feet. You should honor me. You shouldn't be washing my feet." And Jesus said, "If I don't wash your feet, then you will not join me." And Peter said, "Oh, then wash my feet, wash my hands, wash all of me." Because he wanted to be included with Jesus. But Jesus washed their feet to show humility. He humbled himself. And then he explained to them, "You understand just now that I washed your feet because you call me master. You call me rabbi, teacher. And I am your rabbi. Yes, I'm your teacher, your master. Yes, I am. But if I, your leader, servant. Now, many times we think, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with those people. They're not worth my time. Be a servant. Oh, they're always bothering you. Be a servant. Understand that Jesus washed the feet of the 12 disciples, including Judas. Including Judas, the one who after this time would betray him. He knelt and washed Judas's feet. Wow, imagine that. But Jesus did this. He knew what was going to happen. He knew exactly what would happen. But he humbled himself and washed Judas's feet. I wish I had a time machine. I could go back and see what was happening. Look through the window and see Jesus washing Judas's feet. I wonder whether Judas felt guilty or whether he hesitated. I don't know. But Jesus was willing to humble himself. Are we willing to humble ourselves? Are we willing to clean the bathroom? Are we willing to humble ourselves and help those who are lowly? Or are we willing to take jobs that others don't want to do? Why? Because we're servants. So I encourage you to be like Jesus. Jesus spoke and did. He put his words into action. It's easy to speak. It's easy to talk. Talk is cheap, right? But let's see the results. Let's see if you're really willing to put it in practice. Are you willing to humble yourself? Are you willing to kneel as a servant? I encourage you to be like Jesus. Jesus is our example. We can learn from him. Jesus washed his disciples' feet as a servant. You know who Jesus is, right? Who is Jesus? Jesus is God. Jesus is the King of kings, the Lord of lords. Great God. He knelt and washed their feet. He humbled himself. You know who Jesus is, right? Jesus was crucified. He died for all people, everyone in history. But he knelt and washed their feet. If that doesn't move you, wow, it really thrills me because Jesus is God himself in heaven. He came to earth to deal with people's weaknesses, to help them, and humbled himself, knelt to wash their feet. Wow. If Jesus could humble himself, can we? Yes, we can. I encourage you to be willing to humble yourself. Accept whatever God wants. A lowly job, do it. Throw things in the trash, clean up. It's a lowly job. But be a servant. I encourage you to be like Jesus. Jesus taught his disciples, and then he gave them an example. He showed them his teaching. I encourage you to do the same. So, I want to be a servant. Are you saying, I want to serve the Lord? Yes, but what does this mean? Are you approachable? Or do people have a hard time talking to you? Can you resolve conflict? Are you gentle? Can you encourage others? Do you have a heart for service? Last one, are you actively seeking opportunities to serve? Jesus did. Jesus didn't have to wash their feet. As the Lord's Supper, he could have finished with the Lord's Supper and then went on to his death, but he encouraged and looked for what he could do. He found a way to encourage them to be servants to others. That's what we should do. Become a servant leader. You want people to honor you, instead humble yourself. Say, I'm just a servant, that's all. And encourage others to become servants. Let's stand up. While I'm praying, I encourage you to think about this message. That Jesus was a servant. He was willing to serve others. He thought about others. Encourage you to think about each other. To become a lowly servant. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for your word. We thank you for the opportunity to become servants. I think a servant means someone who is lowly. And that's true. We thank you for the opportunity to become lowly servants. We serve you. We work for you. Help us to understand that. We want to see if we want to grow our opportunities and bring more people in, we need to serve. Without serving others, they may show up and leave, and show up and leave, and we need to help servants to be willing to do whatever we need to be like Jesus, and do as Jesus did. Help us to become more enthusiastic, to become better servants, to change our hearts in Jesus' name.